Right, join me as we talk about what I think is the coolest guitar gadget of 2024. Now, the Mustang Micro series from Fender answers what is a decade-long problem for pretty much all guitarists, and that is how to get the best tone possible with as little gear as you can. And the Mustang Micro presents a very, very neat solution to that problem. And now they've come along and treated us to the Mustang Micro Plus, which takes that very concept and pushes it to new dimensions and new tonal ground to give you even more options to expand your tone in the palm of your hand. So from the original Mustang Micro, now comes the Mustang Micro Plus. And one of the things that I really love about these devices is the sheer user friendliness, which I think is something Fender as a brand love to lean into, and it's something I certainly appreciate. And the Mustang Micro Plus has really leaned into this further than the original units. It retains a lot of the same features and just expands upon them. So one of the things I really like when you first open the box, for example, it straight away gives you a really simplified control layout for the unit itself. And then on the left here, it actually breaks down all the effect models and all the amp models that are available for you to use inside the unit itself. So then getting it out, obviously the profile is identical. The introduction of a screen visually is one of the big things that you'll notice, and this will come clear why this is here later on. Very familiar to users of the original, the side layouts and the actual unit. So it is familiar, however, with a few new exciting features. And straight away you'll see it's basically the addition of an extra button on the right-hand side of the unit, which in this case now houses a tuner and a tap tempo, two features that for any pedal users will be instantly noticeable and instantly noteworthy. Obviously for time-based effects, a tap tempo massively increases your options and allows you to customize it that little bit closer to what you want in a more time-effective manner. If you need that exact tempo delay on the fly, you just tap it straight in. Equally, having a tuner built into these units, for me, was a no-brainer if it was possible to add. The Mustang Micro is the ultimate convenience solution for guitarists. If you're anything like me, 95% of the time that you want to play guitar or are playing guitar, you sat somewhere comfy, you want a great tone, but you don't necessarily want the hassle of plugging into your amps and pedals and setting them all up, making sure they're all powered properly. You just want a great tone on the fly. And the Mustang Micros offer that in abundance. However, the idea of having to tune up your guitar either by ear or on something else before plugging, it's not ideal. So having that as an all-in-one solution, absolutely fantastic. And then getting back onto the screen, the amount of effects and amps and tones that they've packed in here compared to the original justifies the use of the screen. You are going to need to know where you are, what's on, what's not, and the OLED screen just makes it super, super clear and easy for you to identify what's going on when. So in essence, it is the same Mustang Micro that we know and love, with a few additional features, some of which I'll touch on in a second because I kind of need to show them rather than talking about them. But it's incredibly familiar, just massively expanded. Right, I've skirted around the issue. Let's really deep dive into that advanced functionality now. So the side of the controls that I showed you last time, if you're familiar with the original Mustang Micro, will be instantly reminiscent. And what I've always been super, super impressed by with both the Mustang Micros is the level of adaptability. Versions of this type of product have existed for the past sort of 20, 30 years, obviously bigger in size the further you get back. And most of the time, these are digital emulations of classic analog effects that sound exactly like that, for lack of a better term. And what's really, really impressed me about the Mustang Micros is the level of adaptability. This isn't one rigid tone which you either like or lump. Both products actually feature EQ and modify settings that allow you to tinker with the tone and also actually change parameters of the different preset options. The Mustang Micro Plus, however, pushes this idea into overdrive by really, really opening up the versatility. So very quickly, on the flip side, you've got your on-off switch, which has a Bluetooth functionality this time. So when connected through your phone, which I'm about to get to, removes an extra wire, which a lot of people will really, really enjoy. And the addition of a save switch here, which is where we start to get into the really, really cool territory. So for me, where this product really, really starts to come alive is when you pair it with the Fender Tone app, which comes with the product. So just to show you how easy this is, if I turn this on now, it connects within a matter of seconds to your phone. So as you'll see here, it's popped up, and with a single push, I am into an entirely new interface, which gives an even deeper level of tonal customization. So as you can see here, the OLED screen makes this easy, but you've suddenly actually got a new interface here, which shows you your amps, your individual effects. And the really, really mind-blowing thing here is that these aren't limited to presets. If I click here, I'm given a range of pedals that I can then start. All of those knobs you see as well on the screen are individual parameters that can be changed again through the app. These aren't even fixed effects. And why that is so exciting is because this type of function has normally been limited to your big modelers, your big multi-effects, your top-of-the-range flagship stuff. Suddenly, Fender have come along here and managed to put it in something that is the size of your palm, is uber portable, but gives you that flexibility, adaptability, customization to start building dream tones. Now, for guitarists, that is beyond exciting. It's a pedal board and an amp in the size of your palm, and not just a preamp, a power amp. This is something now that you can carry around and plug into your guitar and get these tones wherever. It's a rechargeable unit. It's got 4 hours continuous battery life. I don't want to oversell it, but this is really, really exciting and new, and the level of portability, but then without sacrificing the tonal side, which has always been the trade-off. You want to go smaller, cool, your tone's not going to be as good. The Mustang Micro Plus feels like it bucks that trend a little bit, and suddenly I can dig in and I can start to choose exactly which type of overdrive. I can knock the gain up or down, I can tweak, I can fine tune. And that is why this is so exciting. If you're a guitarist that values expansive tonal ranges, the ability to fine tune how wet that reverb is, how long that delay trail is, this is the ultimate product for you. So I've talked about user friendliness. It'd be a little bit unfair if I didn't show that in action. So obviously I've talked about how great these presets are and how you can sculpt your own tone. I thought I'd get hands on and just show you how I like to do it. So the first step for me is finding a bass kind of preset platform that you like the sound of. That's generally the easiest way to make a start. So if we scroll through here, and if you keep an eye on the screen, what I really like is how reactive this is. It very quickly updates between the two devices in real time. So my favorite, I really like number 3, swirling echoes. I really like kind of time-based, wet, clean sounds. So this is perfect for me. If I just give you a quick flavor. But obviously what I've talked about is the incredible depth in which you can dive into sculpting these tones. So to start with, I fancy maybe a little bit more modulation in there, maybe a chorus. So if I click here, it gives me a range of pedals to use, which is this is mind-blowingly cool to me. As someone that loves pedals and loves effects and deep diving into it, this is heaven. So if a little bit of chorus, obviously, as I said, each of those parameters on each of those pedals is fully customizable. You can choose it to suit you. So let's see what that sounds like. Nicely started detuned, thickened the signal. Sounds great. To me, I wanted the delay time to be a little bit shorter. So if I go into here, all I need to do is knock the delay time. That might actually be a little bit too much. So if we just knock it back up, that sounds about right to me. So nice, quick, almost slapbacky-esque ambient delay. I'm happy with the amp, happy with the rest of the pedals. And so even there, just ever so quickly, I've taken an existing patch and I've customized it to the parameters that suit me a little bit better. And that sounds like this. And then the super, super cool thing, there is 100 preset banks in this pedal. And they've left us a few spare for you to get hands on. However, this one, actually, I'm always going to prefer like this. So this isn't a blank one. So if I press save, I can then change the name to something like Tom Echoes, save it. And now that is actually forever saved on the device as that setting, to the point when you can even change off that preset on the Mustang Micro itself. When you come back on your OLED screen, it says Tom Echoes, rather than swirling echoes as it originally did, showing how customizable and how this little device right here that fits very snugly onto the bottom of your guitar gives you a complete tonal workstation upon which you can now actually craft your dream tones. So I thought about trying to go through and give you an example of every usable sound packed into this thing, but to be honest, there's so many, I think it'd take forever. If you want to have a look at the full list, it is available online. And it's worth noting that every sound you've heard from it in this video has been captured direct from the Mustang Micro Plus. Obviously, you've not seen any headphones because we've been running straight out through a DI box to give you as an authentic a capture of the tone as we can get in the video. So this hasn't been edited in any way or messed to sound nicer. This is how it sounds, which is one of the most impressive things about this, as I've been trying to sort of draw your attention to. So whether you are sitting along and looking for something that gets you a little bit closer to jamming along with your favorite song wirelessly, but with a more correct tone, or whether you're looking for something that really portably and conveniently allows you to craft tones in a way that your pedal board does, but you want something a little bit more portable, this is a solution that does really suit every guitarist. I can't envisage any of my friends or anyone I know that wouldn't enjoy something like this. And at the price point it's at, it's a little bit of a no-brainer, if I'm being perfectly honest, and I'm probably going to pick one up myself. So if you do want more info on it and to read a little bit more about it, head on over to the Gear4music website where we've got a packed listing to read all about it. I've been Tom for Gear4music. Thank you ever so much for watching. See you on the flip side.